Hello bros and welcome to S50 Bro for Production and next part Sakura Succubus 4. It's been 2 weeks since I last recorded this, so because last week I had something to do and I only have time on the weekends nowadays to actually record. So let's jump into where we left off last time. That Cosmos is really interested when it comes to what is those called in English? I don't know what those called in English. I only know what they're called in Swedish. Whatever. Let's just keep reading. Hey Cosmos, are you having fun? Oh, Hiroki. Cosmos turns to beam at me, her eyes glittering. This is incredible. Take a look at this. The sparkler is so bright and sparkling? I guess it would be. The clue is in the name. I guess so. Maybe I'm told to get excited about stuff like this, but I think it's pretty cool. Goes stares at the sparkly pins between her fingertips, her eyes wide. She's wearing her bikini again, which seems a bit of an odd choice given the lateness of the hour. None of the other Succubi are in their swimsuits. Constance even changed out of her swimsuit earlier when she sat down in the living room to eat Fumi's cooking. But Cosmos is a simple being. She's been running on the quintessence throughout this vacation, namely that being on the beach is wearing a swimsuit. Anything else would be sacrilege. Her swimsuit clings to her curves, and I swear the foxcat tail attached to her rear is twitching. Her fingers are curled delicately about the stem of the sparkler, and it's with no small amount of enthusiasm she looks at me. Don't you think this is cool? I can't even write my name with it. Look. Joseph flicks her wrist and in so doing spells out her name. I can see the letters in the air for a few seconds before they disappear. It's just like magic. It's funny you should say that. Being a succubus, you actually use magic. Compared to your powers, this shouldn't be anything too special. But it is special. The fireworks are very pretty, but so is this sparkler, and I'm on the beach with you and having lots of fun. You know. Cosmos shifts a little closer to me, smiling gently as she does so. I've never seen fireworks before. I used a sparkler. This is all very new to me. Really? I blink, perplexed. I thought you said you've seen fireworks at festivals. I have in anime and manga and in TV dramas, but I've never seen fireworks in real life before. I haven't been in the human realm all that long, and when I first came here I didn't have anybody to go with, though I wanted to. Actually, I've seen fireworks in real life. It's kind of a yearly event in Sweden. Every New Year's, fireworks get shot in the sky to celebrate in the end of the year or the beginning of the new year. I don't know how common that is in other countries, but I know in the US fireworks are illegal in some states. Let's keep reading. I asked you, but she said she was too busy, and anyway she wouldn't want to be seen dead with me. Besides, I was kind of lonely when I first came here. This was before I started my Rapipond account, so I didn't have any fans, let alone friends. I spent most of my time watching anime and reading manga, trying to make myself feel less lonely. It kind of worked. But when I saw these characters going to festival or the beach or theme parks, it made me feel even sadder. I wanted some friends too that I could go out and have fun with. I was afraid and it never happened. I'm kind of awkward in case you hadn't noticed. But almost so closer still, her bare shoulder brushing mine. She grips her sparkle tightly like a talisman, her smile serene. Then I met you. I fell in love with you the moment I saw you. And I'm really, really glad we can be together. We'd had so many fun experiences already. I bet there's even more fun on the horizon. When I'm with you, my heart feels all light and trembly. It's like all my worries have disappeared. I'm glad to hear it. I feel happy when I'm with you too. You're the most adorable girlfriend in all the world. And you're the most wonderful boyfriend. Cosmos giggled to herself, contented. A brief silence passes between us, broken by the popping of the fireworks, which now sounds very distant, and a few wondering exclamations. Then Cosmos speaks up, her voice soft and sweet. The beach is so pretty at night. What with all the stores? It's so peaceful. I was wondering, would you mind staying here with me just a bit longer when all the others go back? I like it if we could spend some private time together, just the two of us. I'm not very good with words, so maybe what I want to say isn't coming out right. But with actions, I should be able to properly show you how I feel. I think I got a pretty good idea already. Cosmos isn't exactly the queen of subtlety. But I don't mind. I'd love to spend more time with you, just the two of us. Yay! Thank you very much, Hiroki. You won't regret it. I'm sure I won't. As questionable as some of the Cosmos wardrobe choices are, she's too cute not to spend time with. I rise early the following morning, the sound of the squalling seabirds and the shore. I luxuriate in my bed for a few moments, contented to enjoy the warmth that envelops me. Lazing around like this feels nice. But while I'm not as gung-ho as Hazel, I didn't come all the way here to lie in bed. I could do that anywhere. I sit up, stretching, and rise my arms above my head. Then, invigorate, I rise from my sheets and ready myself for an upcoming day. I get dressed, splash my face in the bathroom, and head downstairs. I'm greeted when I enter the open-plan living area with the familiar scent of Hifumi miso soup. She's standing by the stove, stirring a pot of the stuff, a golden yellow-brown mixed with bits of hot tofu and diced spring onions. If it tastes as good as it looks and smells, it should be delicious. Good morning, Hiroki. You're up early. You're the first one awake, other than Hazel. Did she head out for a jog already? I passed her as I was coming downstairs. She should be back any minute. Hi guys, bye guys. Is there metal doors on the downstairs level 2? No, wait, yeah. Every door sounds like metal doors. Heavy prison metal doors. Those that you need at least a welder to get open, and it doesn't take a short amount of time. It sounds like it would take like at least a half an hour to weld that door open. Hi guys, bye guys. Now, the front door opens with a thud and Hazel flies in, her ponytail bobbing behind her. Her body is slick with sweat, her shirt clings to her chest, and her face is flushed. She doesn't offer any further greeting than this most perfunctory one. She kicks off her shoes, Hifumi tuts, then slides about the kitchen island and sidesteps the couch like it's a slalom course. In roughly 5 seconds she made her way to the foot of the stairs, and in a third of that she scaled them and vanished from view. I watched her blink, and as does Hifumi. Hazel moved so quickly she was less of a woman and more of a blur of limbs. She might as well have been a hurricane. Somebody sure was in a hurry. She always like that. I'm afraid one of these days she'll slip and knock her head. I wouldn't want her to hurt herself. Hazel can be rather rash at times. Even smiles fondly, still stirring the soup in the pot. But she is rather young. As far as Succubus go, I'm sure she will grow out of it in due course under Marina's influence. From what I hear, Marina has done a wonderful job disciplining her already. She truly is a mother big sister. I don't know about that. I cast my mind back to a couple of months prior, when I first escaped the Succubus realm. Ayu and Hifumi arranged a party to celebrate our newfound freedom, but Marina and Hazel were AWOL for the majority of it. I thought this quite mysterious, until I began to hear peculiar noises emanating from the walls of my bedroom. When Hazel finally emerged, she was trembling, her eyes tearful. She was largely unresponsive for the rest of the night, and sat in a corner with her arms around her legs. She looked like she seen things. I thought it impolite to inquire as the precious details of said things, but my imagination got good enough that I can make an estimated guess. I've seen enough adult videos. And judging by Marina's creativity, she has too. I think this should be almost done. Hifumi gently voices interrupt my musing. She smiles, her glasses seem steamed up from the miso soup, and says, "Would you like to try some? I'd very much appreciate your feedback." I'm no top chef, so I doubt I'd be much use, but sure, I'll try a bit. It's like we're back at the first chapter again. Thanks, Hifumi. It's no trouble. Drink up. There's plenty more where it came from. Hifumi holds up a spoon to my pursed lips, laden with miso soup. There's a chunk of tofu sitting atop the spoon, alongside a few circles of green onions. From close quarters, the smell is even more tantalizing than it was before. I'm already starting to salivate. I dip my head, then take the spoon into my mouth. It's delicious, but I expected nothing less. Hifumi's miso soup is mild, but it's not bland. It's seasoned with perfection, just the way I like it. And the green onions give it a nice subtle crunch. Okay. It absolutely feels like I'm back in the beginning of the story again. What do you think? Do you like it, darling? A milquetoast compliment like that would be doing you cooking a disservice. I don't just like it, I love it. I'm very glad to hear it. Hifumi smiles brightly. I find cooking relaxing, and I have enjoyed it for many years. I like to think I'm somewhat competent at it, after much trial and error. But I do not wish to grow complacent. One can always improve. The moment that one forgets this, their skill begins to decline. It is the same with the karuta. It's the same with karuta and even with acting. I've been studying your eating habits closely, and I've been striving to make food suited to your taste buds. I'm gratified my hard work has paid off. It has. I don't think I ever saw me anything that tasted bad. This is even better than my mother's cooking. My, this is a lofty compliment, but I'm flattered. Though perhaps you should not tell your mother this. I would not wish to compete with her, not if she is to be my mother-in-law one day. That's pretty bold of you. I know she threw me in the side playfully. Are you that dead set on being my wife? I have never been more determined about anything. I may be an actress, but my feelings about you are wholly sincere. I will not be content until I'm walking down an aisle to greet you dressed in white. For such a mild-mannered woman, Ifumi looks awfully fired up. I swear I can see the fire blazing in her violet eyes. Do you think your parents would approve of me, Hiroki? They might balk at the idea my being several years older than you. I would not wish to cause a rift between you and your family. It's fine. I'm not super close to my family, though. I do visit them from time to time. They've been nagging me to settle down with a nice girl the last few years, my mom in particular. They'd be over the moon if they knew you'd show such an interest in me. You're as nice as they come, and since you're older, you'll be able to keep on a straight and narrow. My mom thinks I need somebody to whip me into shape, somebody like her. I smiled brightly while scratching my cheeks with one hand. I told my mom a couple of months back I was in the relationship mostly to get her off my back, but I was vague with the specifics. She seemed disbelieving enough that I found one girlfriend, let alone 6. If she knew on top of all that the famed elder Yamamoto Hifumi was included in my harem, she never shut up about it. Even my dad would be excited to hear that. He's been a fan of Hifumi for a while, and he owns every single one of her movies. I'm afraid his gushing might perturb Hifumi, and it will certainly annoy my mother. She's kind of possessive. Man, thinking about this is giving me a headache. Why, dear Hiroki? Have I done something to upset you? Nah, it's not your fault. My mom has been clamoring to meet you, is all. But I haven't been upfront about how famous you really are. I wanted to keep all this Succubus stuff under wraps. It's kind of unbelievable, but she had to know the truth eventually. I don't want to hide you from my parents, not if you're so serious about this. I'd like them to meet you. But then I'd feel obligated to introduce them to the others, and that would be hard to explain. I understand entirely. That is why I have not pushed you upon the matter. I trust you will do what you think is right, Hiroki, to further our relationship. Though if you need any help explaining matters to your parents, you can rely on me. Use advice, and I like to think I have some diplomatic skill. At the very least, I'm less abrasive than some of my sisters. Hifumi laughs as do I. Abrasive. It's a pretty good way to sound the likes of Ayu and Marina, and maybe you too, then have very strong personalities. I don't know what abrasive means. It doesn't matter, I think I have a pretty good idea. Well, we need not worry about it for the present. We came here to enjoy ourselves, not fret about the future. I apologize if I have caused a pall upon things, my dear Hiroki. It's not a problem. I have to think about the logistics of this sooner or later. One guy can't just date 6 beautiful women and expect the whole world to be okay with it. My parents might need some talking around. But you're so mature and motherly, I knew they'd take you at once. With Ayu, it might be a different matter. What about me? Ayu marches into the room, hands on her hips, her hair is tied back into her 2 signature twin tails, and though it's early in the morning upon her face, she's already wearing her signature scowl. As Ayu would be Ayu if she wasn't a bit pissy. But I do wish she could chill every once in a while. Are you whispering behind my back? That's not a very ladylike of you, Hifumi. I'm disappointed. Yes, you are right. I apologize, Hiroki. I were only speaking of his parents and how they might react upon meeting us. It's quite a heavy topic of conversation dwelling upon. It would only spoil the food I have made, so please erase it from your mind. Did somebody mention food? Hazel next to enter the room, a wide smile on her face. She is wearing not her jogging gear, but her casual attire, and her hair and skin look damp. I guess she must have had a shower after her run. That was awfully fast. I'm starving, Ifumi, and your food smells great. I need to get some carbs into my belly after all that exercise. Is it almost done? I just about finished with the miso soup, and it looks like the rice is also ready. I prepared some pickles last night, which we can eat with our food, and there's fried mackerel too. Alright, mackerel, this sounds like... Well, there was nothing I could do to stop that. I tried. Hold on a second. Alright. This sounds like quite a feast. But of course, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I would be a poor excuse of an older sister if I could not satisfy all your appetites. I don't want anybody going hungry. You're such a goody-goody. I repulse her face. Please, excuse me while I vomit. Oh my, are you alright, are you? If you feel ill, I could get a glass of water. Thanks for your concern, but I think I'll be fine. It was just a turn of phrase. You sure? You look kind of pale. If you got a vom, could you do it in the bathroom? I don't want you putting me off my food. Please, it's not like I'm going to throw up literally. Idols don't do that. They don't? No, it'd be totally off-brand. My fans hate me for it. I would say I'm vomit-free since 2019. That was the last time I vomited. So it's been about 2 years. I'm gonna see how long I can keep that from happening. But throwing up is a normal bodily function even for Succubus. Don't you fans know that? Next, you'll be telling me that they expect you to never pass gas or use the bathroom or... Enough. Oh, you exhales a ponytail so hard it squeals. Why are you talking about my bodily functions? It's way too early for that. So you'll be alright chatting about it in the afternoon. Of course not. Her face burns red and her cheeks puff up like a particularly afraid hamster. As if I tell you what I do in the bathroom, I'd rather die first. No, I'd rather you die. Please don't tell me you're into that kind of thing. What thing? Are you talking about... I have no idea. You know, I'm talking about dirty salt, like, well, pee. Parfumous ginger ales. That's pretty dirty. I have no idea what the hell that means. But I know exactly what type of activity they're talking about, and that's one of the most disgusting things I know about. What? No. I glanced at Castle while only just entered the kitchen. She barely eyed. What even is that? It's a type of bacteria commonly found in the mouth and the butt. Oh my! Ifumi looks only mildly bemused, but Ayu's face is even hotter than a furnace. I bet you could cook KBBQ on her cheeks. How do you know about that? I was looking up cosplay ideas the other day, and you decided you were going to cosplay as a sexy bacterium. Why not? It would be interesting. Other girls cosplay sexy boats or sexy King Arthur. That is true, I guess. But why bacterium? I like bacteria. They're cute. Like hell they are, you weirdo. I snorts and takes a seat on at the table. Are you going to plate up the food here for me? I'd like to eat sometime during this century, but don't give me too much rice. I need to watch my figure. If you're worried about your weight, you could always come jogging with me. And try to keep pace with you? No thanks. You're built like an Amazon, and I'm meant to be a cute, delicate idol. So you're too annoying to spend more than 5 minutes with. Am I annoying? You're very annoying. If you're worried about your weight, you don't want to exercise, you could swallow a tapeworm instead. They absorb nutrients from your gut, so you can eat a lot but keep slender. They're very useful. And they're cute too. What is it with you and finding weird things cute? You must have worms in your the brain. Who has worms? Mine is the lost dental liver. She's wearing a white sundress, and her hair looks neat and silky. She casts an eye about the room, taking us in. The rest of her gaze upon Ayu. Grinning, she says, "Do you have worms, Ayu?" No, I do not have worms. Alright, everybody, let's settle down. Ayu is right. We should discuss such matters now. You can resume your conversation about worms later. It does seem very interesting, but for the present, I would appreciate if we could eat breakfast. If we plates up our food and brings it to the table, and we soon begin to eat. This is so good. Gothel shovels rice into her mouth with her chopsticks, her face flushed with pleasure. It's delicious. I'm in heaven. You could try to eat a bit more cleanly. You got food stuck to your cheeks. Let me. Ayu picks up her napkin, then reaches across the table to clean Cosmo's face. Cosmo doesn't squirm away from Ayu's attention. She sits patiently, her chopsticks aloft as Ayu wipes up occasional tufts. There, much better. You look almost presentable now. Were it not for your questionable fashion choices, I still don't understand the appeal of the airs. They make you look infantile. Actually, they're making in Japanese style. They actually make one look a bit cuter, I think. The best thing is if they're actually real. That would be the best thing, I think. But your stage costume is way frillier and more childish than anything I wear, are you? No, it isn't. My stage clothes exist to accentuate my beauty. They are apparel. Now this argument sounds pretty familiar. I've heard it before. At the train station when the pair of us were leaving the Ryokan. These two always argue. But I think they must care for one another. If they didn't, I wouldn't have fussed over Cosmos as she does, and Cosmo wouldn't insist upon their being friends. It's a shame Ayu is too prickly to admit she might even like anybody. While Ayu and Cosmos bicker, Hifumi turns to me and persists a question. Would you care to go for a walk with me later? It's a beautiful day, and I thought I might like to see some more of the beach, or maybe the cliffs. I think it would be nice to stretch my legs. And it would be nicer still if you joined me, Hiroki. If that's what you want, then sure. I don't mind tagging along. It'd be my pleasure. Wonderful. Ifumi beams. You could bring a picnic too if you like. You certainly seem to be enjoying my cooking, and I very much enjoy cooking for you. Some leftovers rice from breakfast, so I could make rice balls. And maybe rolled eggs or omelets. That's a pretty classic picnic fare. Yeah, it's the sort of stuff my mother used to put in my lunchbox at school. Now I feel kind of nostalgic. Can you do ginger chicken or hamburger steak? I can make almost anything. The fridge is stocked full of ingredients, and it would be a shame to waste them. Tell me your request. If you have them, I shall turn them into reality. That's so cool. Sound kind of like a mage. I'm a succubus. I do know one or two spells. But when it comes to cooking, I prefer to use my own two hands. No cheating. The only magic I need is my love for Hiroki. Spoken like a true housewife. Your devotion is so bright and glittery. My eyes are starting to tear up. I love the cute waifu to cook for me too. I'm tempted to invite myself along on your little picnic. But I had Hiroki to myself a bunch the other day. I wouldn't want to cramp your style. I want to get some more jogging done. Would you mind saving me some of your ginger chicken though? Of course. I wouldn't mind. I can make extra chicken if you want some. It would be my pleasure. Nothing makes me happier than feeding others. Alright. As punches her fist in the air in celebration while you pretend to gag. You act way too nice for me. You're giving me a sugar overdose here. Oh dear. I did not think my miso soup was particularly sweet, but perhaps I made a mistake. I think your food is delicious, Ifumi. Pay Ayo no heed. She's just jealous because you can ply Hiroki with food and she cannot. I heard rumors about her culinary skills or lack of it, and it's truly tragic. She even burns cereal. Really? Is that true? That was only one time. It was just a mistake. That's one hell of a mistake. How'd you even do that? I don't know. It's my fault. It's my maid for taking the day off work. I don't need to cook and clean because she does it all for me. I'm too famous to fuss about making my own food. Ayu turns her nose up in the air, arms crossed while Marina smirks. How hopeless you are, dear Ayu. I'm very busy myself, but even I know the basics. You really do have nothing to offer, save for your foul temper. Now I think I will join Hifumi and Hiroki on their walk. I have no desire to stay here and babysit you squabbling children. Is that alright, Hifumi? I do not mind at all. But what about you, Hiroki? Do you have any objections? Of course not. I like spending time with all of you. But of course you do. I am irresistible after all. And so is my food. Perhaps I will make some cute apple bunnies too, and make some cookies. I would love to feed them to you, Hiroki, perhaps while you are laying on my lap. Nothing would make me happier than that. It takes about an hour, but Ifumi Marina and I finally crest the summit of this hill. From our vantage point, the rest of the beach is sprawled beneath us like a patchwork, all golden sand and azure sea. The hike was a challenging one, but the view from that make up for it, as does Hifumi's cooking. Here you are, dear. Say ah. Ifumi offers me a piece of rolled egg omelette pinched between her chopsticks. I oblige, my eyes falling shut, and Ifumi popped the piece of omelette into my mouth. I chew on it, saving its soft, fluffy texture. It feels like biting into clouds. I'm left with somewhat sweet aftertaste when I swallow. It's more rice, and I'm already craving more of Fumi's cooking. She makes cooking look so easy, but I know a lot of effort goes into every single one of her dishes. She's incredibly throughout, and she made all this for my sake. The picnic spreads is laid out on the tartan blanket we brought with us. Hifumi really pulled out the stops, it shows. There's a huge array of different dishes, all of them staples for any lunchbox. In addition to the rolled eggs omelette, Hifumi's also made a rice balls, a ginger chicken and a hamburger steak I requested, octopus wieners, salted eggplant, and all sorts of other side dishes. I doubt I'll be able to eat all of this, but it's so good I'm tempted to try. Do you like it there? I love it. Goodness, you're so complimentary. I really do appreciate it. Ifumi giggles coyly while cupping her cheek with one hand. Alas, I'm only too aware of my shortcomings. The egg omelets are not perfectly even, and I used a bit too much oil. I will have to be more careful next time. You mean you can make food that tastes even better than this? I can hardly credit it. Her cooking is so good already. If I leveled up even more, I'd run the risk of turning into a real glutton. I can't stop myself on Hifumi's cooking all day. Maybe I should take up jogging with Hazel. It's hell to wake up so early, but it might be a necessity if I don't want to pack on the pounds. Is there anything you would like to sample next? Perhaps the hamburger steak? I've been eyeing that for a while, yeah, but you know me too well. I only know you as well as any wife should know her husband. Ifumi picks up the mini steak definitely in the chopstick, with the fluid motion of one who plays competitive karuta, then offers it to me. I peck the steak from the chopsticks like a bird might, while Marina watches. You fawn over Hiroki too much, Ifumi. You're spoiling him. Perhaps I am, but how can I help it? When I love somebody, I want to only make them happy. There's nothing more important to me than Hiroki's happiness. That's very sweet. But did you ever stop to consider that it's because of your pampering you turned out so selfish? Oh no. Ifumi sets her chopsticks down and frowns. That did not occur to me. No, I did not realize. Perhaps there's a grain of truth in what you say. You is my cousin, and I care for her deeply. I was so relieved when she agreed to ascend the throne in my place. Was perhaps too fawning in her interquisitions. I wish to become a trusted advisor she could rely on, more akin to a big sister than an official figure. But I fear I was too lax with her. I let her get away with many petty qualities, which slowly began to escalate. It's alright, Hifumi. You can be a bit difficult, but she's not all bad. She is not as possessive as she used to be. She mellowed out a lot. Thank you for consoling me, Hiroki. It's very kind of you, though if you were to hold a grudge, I understand. If I had done a better job as you's mentor, I doubt she would have subjected you to the torments that she did. I am responsible for all of that occurred in the Succubus realm. However, indirectly, I have felt some degree of guilt about it. Perhaps that is why I am so determined to pamper you. I've been overcompensating and I never realized it. My affection is not stifling, is it? I mean, who can complain about someone pampering you so much as Ifumi does? I mean, she's the perfect example of how everyone wants a housewife to be. Nah, it's fine. If it was an issue, I say to myself, so don't fret. I don't like playing with mind games with people. I never keep you guessing. Thank you. That means a lot to me, Hiroki. Truly it does. Then I shall continue to fawn over you, if you do not mind. That's simply how I am. Ifumi shifts closer to me, then presses her chest against my arm. I wish we could always stay like this. I don't like keeping busy. I know if I took too long a break, I would begin to tire of it. I may not be the Succubus princess, but I'm in my own domain. I am in charge. All my employees obey me and they cower before me. There's nothing more amusing than that. Issuing orders is gratifying as I am having them fulfilled. But one's life cannot be nothing but work. We all need distractions, else we would go mad. And you are a very fine distraction indeed, darling. Oh, that's a good picture. There I actually got up a direct shot of the main character's face also. But of course that does also mean that was the end of this episode, so at least hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!